So hello, my name is Sergeant Eduardo Rivera. I'm the social media manager for the Colorado Army National Guard Recruiting and Retention Battalion, and we are here with
Sergeant First Class Devin SAGER.
And Sergeant Norcross.
So you guys are part of the marksmanship team for the Colorado Army National Guard. Can you tell me a little bit about the team?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm the state marksmanship coordinator. So I cover all things marksmanship related for the state of Colorado. That includes Air Force and the Army. We are part of events all over the United States, nationally, regionally, and down to the state level. And it also includes international competitions as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then so as far as for me on my side, as an M-Day soldier, I'm attached to the Centennial Training Site. And that's where we host currently that you just covered the Marksmanship Academy 3rd annual, and coming up the 10th annual Adjutant General's Marksmanship match, most commonly known as the tag match.
So Sergeant, what you do on your M-Day side?
So the M-Day side, I'm the state marksmanship coordinator. So,
Okay.
Yeah, and then I'm also that's my M-Day job, is the state marksmanship coordinator. So I'm located down at the G3, down at JFHQ.
Okay. So recently we had the event. Is the Winston P. Wilson Armed Forces Skill Competition?
Yep.
Yeah. So Winston P. Wilson / AFSAM. So the Armed Forces Skills at Arms meeting. Yep. 2 separate competitions, but they're entitled into one culminating event.
Yeah,
okay.
They're ran concurrently. So they're ran at the same time, but it's 2 different events ran at the same time at the same location.
And 2 different events regarding what? Like a pistol and rifle, or
So Wilson P. Willis is the national level for the National Guard. So all 54 states and territories have the opportunity to represent their state and or territory at Winston P. Wilson. Ran concurrently with is AFSAM. That's the international side of it, where we compete against other members of the DoD, the Coast Guard, the Army Reserves, the Marine Corps shooting team, other all-guard programs, and then our international brothers and sisters, to include the Netherlands Royal shooting team, and then the UK's shooting team as well.
So now that you mentioned that and you brought that early in the conversation, I saw some of the content that the NGB brought, like the marksmanship page brought to us. You had several NATO allies there competing with us.
Correct.
And then how it feels to be with competing with other countries.
Amazing. It's to be able to build the camaraderie and the esprit de corps with our brothers and sisters in arms, in the same end state goal of becoming better marksmanship instructors to take back to whether it be the countries or the different departments of defense regulations, and here at the state level it's amazing. I think it's some of the best training that the Army has to offer, and that's all thanks to the National Guard Marksmanship Training Center.
That's amazing. So on the other side, we have a lot of awards here. Can you mention some of the awards? I know we have 2. How many members we're missing today? They were not able to be with us today.
So you know how we were talking about Winston P. Wilson and then AFSAM. So as a whole, there was 4 total members within the Colorado National Guard that competed as a team for the state of Colorado at Winston P. Wilson. And we're missing Sergeant Andrew Towns. He's with the 1st of 157th Infantry down in Colorado Springs. We're missing Sergeant Andrew Johnson. He's with Recruiting and Retention Battalion. Austin Johnson.
Yep.
I apologize. Austin Johnson. And then we're missing Michael Trischler, Sergeant Michael Trischler, out of the 947th Engineers out of Montrose. And then I was the 4th competing member for that state team. And then the flip side of that coin, the AFSAM side, that Sergeant Norcross and myself, and then we're missing Sergeant Fulmer. The 3 of us were selected out of 12 members across the entire National Guard to represent the all guard team, and that those are teams that are selected by NGMTC to represent the National Guard to compete at AFSAM, and Sergeant Fulmer's the 3rd member that was selected that we were able to participate with the all guard teams. So.
Amazing. And then that's on the other side, not the all small arm teams. we managed to come 10th on the top 10, right?
10th place.
Yep. So
10th
For
place
the state of Colorado.
State of Colorado finished
out
10th
of the 54.
there was 43,
42,
43 state teams and
competitive
territories.
teams. Mhm.
So we finished in the top.
That's
10.
amazing.
That is amazing.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially from a recent follow-up at All Army. That's the other national competition
Mm-hmm.
that we are allowed to go to. We finished 9th there.
Yep.
That was
Benning,
like a
Georgia.
month ago, right?
Correct. Yep.
That's amazing. So, talking more about awards. So the Colorado Alpha managed to come 10th out of the 40 something.
42, 43
Okay.
teams. Yep.
And then you brought some awards back home. Like
Correct. Yep.
I saw your hands were full.
Yeah. So we both did extremely well. I'm extremely proud of Sergeant Norcross. For the Wilson side of, I took second overall out of Wilson. I took first pistol. No, I'm sorry, second pistol, second overall. And then Sergeant Norcross and all of his accolades on the AFSAM side, which is astounding with itself. So, yeah. So,
Can you mention what is the Chief 50s? Like I saw you emphasize on your social media post on that you finally managed to get that award. What is it?
So the Chiefs 50 award is an individual permanent award that's issued to the top 50 competitors over 3 different disciplines within that fiscal year. So in those 3 disciplines are small arms, which includes pistol and rifle, sniper, and then you've got machine gun. So this year they issued out 21 to 23, I can't remember the exact number, for small arms, which is the pistol and rifle. So the top 21 competitors in pistol, the top 21 competitors in rifle, each received one of those Chiefs 50 badges. And that's essentially the top pistol and or rifle aggregate marksman out of all of the matches throughout the entire week that you add up all those scores, and it's the top 21 of those guys get the Chiefs 50. And then earlier in the fiscal year, the sniper competition, there's 2 more badges that are handed out to the top 2 snipers. And then if there's a machine gun match, it would also be handed out to the top 2 individuals at the machine gun match. And that's what comes up with the total of 50 individual badges. So this year I was able to secure the second pistol Chiefs 50 badge, and then the 7th rifle Chiefs 50 badge. And Sergeant Norcross and Sergeant Fulmer are also part of that prestigious club of being Chiefs 50 recipients as well.
Awesome. Sergeant Norcross. So I saw your post, and then you mentioned about that you got the first place overall on the Armed Forces Skills.
Yeah, for the AFSAM, first individual grand aggregate overall international champion.
And then that's the first time in the history of the Colorado Army National Guard that someone gets that award.
Correct.
So what that means to you?
I am very humbled and thankful to bring this and all the awards back here to the Colorado Army National Guard. This is where essentially my career started in the competitive marksmanship program. Not a lot of leaders know that this is an official thing. And so the Army competitive marksmanship is actually an Army Regulation 350-66. All the information can be found regarding these competitions and the accolades and permanent badges and awards that come with that. It all starts at the state level at the tag match. And so with my first tag match being in 2015, coming from an infantry background, I thought I was the best shooter around, and I thought I knew everything, and I was humbled very fast and very quick. But surrounding myself with the most amazing team that I can ask for, prior coaches that have left the Kong, the staff at the National Guard Marksmanship Training Center, and the support from the Colorado National Guard, it is such an honor to say that the Colorado National Guard is the home of marksmanship. We are going above and beyond with programs like we had mentioned with the Marksmanship Academy and the tag match. And I hope it continues, and I hope that this helps solidify the legitimacy of what we're doing.
In addition to the Chief 50, is there any other badges or awards that soldiers can get?
Absolutely, yeah. So at the state level, we've got the Governor's 20 tab, which is awarded to the top 20 competitors at the tag match within that year. It's a permanent award. As long as you're within the Colorado National Guard, you can wear it for your entire career. Now, as soon as you move UIST to a different state, that award is no longer valid because it's a state individual award. And then the next tier is, which would be the Chiefs 50, which is awarded to the top 50 competitors within the National Guard. And then within that same level, there's excellence in competition badges. So there's specific courses of fire that are held at the state, regional, and national levels, and they have different point values to them. But you can receive, and they're coined as a leg point. And you need X amount of leg points to get from a bronze to a silver to a gold, which is the distinguished badge. And a distinguished rifle or a distinguished pistol badge is actually the highest individual marksmanship award that anybody can be awarded. So you need 30 total points at these matches to become a distinguished rifle or a distinguished pistol shooter. Through hard work and dedication, both Sergeant Norcross and myself and several other members of our team are double distinguished. So So we've got distinguished badges in rifle and pistol. I don't know the exact number off the top of my head, but I know when the last time I was told, which was just a couple months ago, there was less than 500 of these double distinguished individuals within the Army. So that means that there's less than 500 service members in the history of the United States Army that have received both a pistol distinguished badge and a rifle distinguished badge. So, and it replaces your normal marksmanship award that you would wear on your ASUs. So, and then above continuously growing, there's the President's 100s tab, which you've probably seen, and that's earned during a service rifle or a service pistol competition at Camp Perry, Ohio. So, and that's awarded to the top 100 pistol shooters and the top 100 rifle shooters in that very specific course of fire. And there's thousands of people that attend that match every year in Camp Perry, Ohio.
Is that an event happening this year?
It will happen this year. It is a very specific discipline. That's where you see the guys with the big leather jackets and the blinders, and they've got those really elaborate rifles or pistols. But yeah, that event will happen this year in Camp. It happens every year in Camp Perry, Ohio.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So, on the other hand, how does the progression, how a soldier like you two or like all the other team members, how do they manage to get to this level? Like, because it's not easy. I've been on range. At the range is not easy. And then I was last week with the CTS, and then they gave me a rifle. They told me just shoot, and then it's not easy. Just to to do it. Like even though we're supposed, and I've been doing it every year. You gotta go to the range and you gotta qualify, but it's not that easy.
Absolutely.
How we do that?
So Sergeant First Class SAGER mentioned a little bit about the different disciplines. We are very lucky within NGB to have multiple branches of discipline and marksmanship that soldiers can go down if they would so like. We work very closely with NGMTC, the All Guard teams to include the combat team, the action team. Sergeant First Class SAGER is the coach of the action team. The combat team is the Army National Guard. The All Guard combat team is what most of these matches revolve around. And so you're shooting in full kit. You're shooting with service issued weapons and optics, and then you can branch off from there to service rifle, and that is long range. At Camp Perry, service pistol, one-handed shooting at Camp Perry as well. We have counterparts down at the AMU, the Army Marksmanship Unit. But to get to this level, and like you said, it is a long time. There are very few shooters that can come in and have the discipline immediately. Tornado warning.
Not that one.
There you go. You can't silence that one.
No, it's coming. Look at that sky; it's green.
It's coming, homie. Sorry.
I'll just pick back up off with okay. And so with all the separate disciplines, it is nice that if a soldier falls in love with one discipline over the other, that there's avenues for them to follow around. And please feel free to reach out to Sergeant First Class SAGER or the National Guard Marksmanship Training Center, especially if you do have a background growing up with service rifle or service pistol. The tactical games is getting pretty large right now in the community. There's also a subset of the tactical team. But I would say the most common and most popular would be the combat team. That's what the most 90% of these matches revolve around. That all start at the tag match. Moving up from there after the tag match would be the CNGB, the Chief of the National Guard Bureau, postal matches, phase 1, 2, and 3. Those can be held at the state level with mailed-in scores from the State Marksmanship Coordinator, Sergeant SAGER, to NGMTC, and then they go through and review the list, and soldiers would receive an invite to experience their first shoulder-to-shoulder match at a national level. They'll go and visit Arkansas and Peck and the National Guard Marksmanship Training Center, and they'll start to hone these skills. Once you have made the Governor's 20 you are on the team for the state of Colorado, we will invite you. The next step would be the regional matches. We're in Max 7. And so our regional match being held this year is in Raton, New Mexico at the NRA Whittington Center. And performance-based from there, moving up to the national level at Winston P. Wilson and All Army. If you continue to progress and show that your shooting ability is evolving and you are compatible and available, the National Guard Marksmanship Training Center may pull you aside if your scores are good enough and invite you to the all-guard tryouts. And that would be, again, your discipline of choice, whether that's combat, service rifle, or service pistol.
So talking about the tag match, that's going to happen in August, right?
Correct. Yeah, it's the first full week in August.
So as I had a little conversation with the sergeant major, and he mentioned me that is open for all like the guard.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So what you will tell some of our soldiers out there, or I think airman can go there.
Yep.
So what you will tell to any Colorado National Guard member that want to go there and compete? What you will tell them?
I would say get out there, get a hold of your first sergeant or your readiness NCO, and beg, plead, borrow, steal, whatever you got to do to get down there for the tag match down there the first full week in August. It's a great training exercise. We're constantly evolving the tag match. One of the little secrets, and you'll hear it here first, we're going to be shooting at night this year. There's a lot of members in the Colorado National Guard, to include the Armed Forces as a whole, that just don't have the skill, the know-how, or the competency on how to successfully engage targets at night with their assigned night vision devices. So that's the first thing that's one of the very first times that we've ever competed at night. And it's just the things that we're kind of continuously pressing the envelope to not only be relevant as a war fighter, but as a marksmanship competitor as well. Because if you can't fight during half of the day, you're kind of useless during half the battle. So we're starting to push and lead to those edges. So like I said, get out there, talk to your S3s, talk to your sergeant or your first sergeants, your platoon sergeants, and beg, borrow, and steal. Ask for the Frago on where to send your applications to, and email addresses. I'm always available, so feel free if you got any questions to reach out to me personally. But definitely, it's one of the best training exercises that you can attend during any fiscal year.
So now you mentioned our members that they can go there, but what will you tell to those civilians that want to become part of the Army National Guard? What you will tell them about the National Guard and about the marksmanship skills that we'll get here? So
kind of to touch on that, great question. For those that are interested in joining the National Guard, if marksmanship isn't your thing, or if it's not something that you're very passionate about, that's okay. You have to start somewhere. It is a requirement, though, however. It's an annual requirement with the IWQ for TC 3-22.9 and TC 3-20.40. And so we are giving new soldiers the best information and the most availability to have success with the IWQ. If you come and it's not your thing, that's fine, but at least you will be proficient to be able to pass your standards to be in the United States Army National Guard. I do recommend reaching out and finding the plethora of other available programs within the National Guard. if shooting's not your thing, there's the biathlon team. You can give back to our fallen soldiers with the military funeral honors program. There are color guard opportunities available. There are civic service duties. The list is endless. And so what a lot of soldiers don't know, because they don't ask and reach out. And so find those subject matter experts. If you want to be the best supply, go be the best supply and find the schooling and support to do that. If you want to be the best marksmanship, if you want to be the best at marksmanship, come and talk to us.
Absolutely.
So I think that's all, Sergeant. Thank you for
Absolutely.
being
Thank
here.
You so much.
Thank you for
Appreciate it.
accepting
Thank you very
my
much.
interview. And again, thank you for watching us, and then stay tuned.